Yeah, we don't want to be hitting threshold too much. Hang on, maybe that might be the reason why. If we just turn that down ever so slightly. Wonderful. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Neat Wellbeing Centre, where we are less than 5 minutes away from the start of this BCB League encounter between the City of Birmingham Rockets. Oh, hello. Sam. Hi, mate. Good. Righto. Yeah, very good. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Neat Wellbeing Centre, where we are less than 3 minutes away from the start of this BCB League encounter between the City of Birmingham Rockets and the London Cavaliers, brought to you live right here on the British Championship Basketball YouTube channel. My name is Aaron Viles, I'm your only commentator for the action this evening, and what a blockbuster we have got in store for you. It's the 4th place Rockets taking on the 6th place Cavaliers in what is always a tasty fixture here in the second tier of British basketball. So, without further ado, let's introduce your two sides taking to the court this evening, starting with the home side. So, for the Rockets, wearing jersey number 0 is Ron Blaine. Jersey number 3 is Eric Donaldson. Jersey number 5 is Adrian Mutathori. Jersey number 6 is Lucas McGregor. Jersey number 7 is Faris Magal. Wearing jersey number 8, the captain for the Rockets is Martin Gale. Wearing jersey number 13 is Orlan Jackman. 14 is Zach Powell. 16 is young gun Larry Duru. And wearing jersey number 21, the man who leads the league in blocks, it is of course Luke Okasieme. As for the London Cavaliers, well, wearing jersey number 4 is the captain AJ Roberts. Amari Pon McKenzie dons jersey number 5. Aaron Pine wears number 7. John Manning wears jersey number 10. Jersey number 11 is donned by Joe Richards. Number 12 is Daniel Del Sol Lowry. Number 13 is Mackay Collins. 15 is Markel Beasley. And 23, last but by no means least, is one of the newcomers to the side, Daniel Braster. The big 6'8" forward, who I imagine will have a large role to play in this game tonight, especially on the rebounding alongside the aforementioned Mackay Collins. So, with less than 1 minute to go before the start of the game, and we see the opening tip-off here at the Nechells Wellbeing Centre. As I said, there is plenty up for grabs between these two sides. Just taking a look at the table, spoken already about the fact that the Rockets sit in 4th place on 24 points. They have got a game in hand over the Milton Keynes Breakers, who sit on 26 points above them. The Rockets, of course, also looking to stretch this unbeaten streak to 8 victories in a row. So plenty at stake for the home side this evening. As for the Cavaliers, well, they are still very much in the hunt for the playoffs. The southern side sit in 6th place on 20 points. They know if they can beat the Rockets here this evening at the Nechells Wellbeing Centre, they will be very nicely placed to go on that late push as we head towards the business end of the competition. So the buzzer has sounded. The respective starting fives will enter the court. I mean, for the London Cavaliers, it will be Mackay Collins, Markel Beasley, Dan Braster, AJ Roberts and John Manning. That is what we are expecting. Of course, those guys are the real mainstays for Nigel Lloyd's men. As for the Rockets, well, they have a starting five of Ron Blaine, Lucas McGregor, Eric Donaldson, Luke Okasieme, and their leading point scorer, the general himself, Zach Powell. And I must say, Zach was dialed in this evening. He was the first player to arrive, as is often the case, and he looked very, very good in the pre-game warm-up. So will tonight be another big scoring night for the former Aston Manor graduates? Only time will tell, but what we do know is that we are set for another fantastic evening of basketball here in the second city. So the two sides just going through final handshakes and preparations, and here we go then. It will be Collins and Okasieme, the two big men to compete for the opening tip-off, and it's won by Collins. Here goes Braster then, first attack of the game. It's affected by the Cavaliers, and that one has deflected off an outstretched Rockets hand. So this will be a baseline inbound for the visiting side. That one out wide here to Beasley. Beasley's first attempt on the net is unsuccessful, but there was a foul called in there. So first one of the evening called against the Rockets, and to be more specific, called against the number 3 of Eric Donaldson. Of course, he is having quite the season, averaging 15.4 points per game in his opening 16 appearances as a Rockets player. Really has already carved out a role of quite monumental importance for Charles Smith, even at this early stage. So Braster slings that one out onto the right wing, and that one will see the first points of the game being scored. That one just placed in delicately by John Manning. How can the Rockets respond after that then? Cavs drawing first blood in this contest. Of course, London in the white jerseys, Rockets in the familiar shade of red on their own patch. Blaine unleashes from deep, and Ron Blaine cashes in. I mean, Blaine himself already spoken about Donaldson. Blaine averaging 17.1 points per game in this campaign. Only Zach Powell is averaging more at this stage for the men in red. And here go the Cavaliers again. That one laid in very nicely by the captain, AJ Roberts. And it is the Cavs who retake the lead as McGregor goes coast to coast. The lead not lasting long at all. And of course, as a result of the foul, this will be an and one opportunity. Chance to make it a 3-point play. Get the Rockets back into a 2-point lead. First foul of the evening called against the number 13 of Mackay Collins as well. As for McGregor's free throw numbers this season, 61%. from the line. It is an area that his coach Charles Smith is looking to improve on a team-wide basis. Really are valuable points, especially down the stretch. And McGregor makes no mistake. He's 100% so far. So here go the Cavs. Into Rockets territory once more. Roberts it is. Donning the familiar headband. He now kicks it wide into the corner. And the Cavs there have stepped out of bounds. So turnover in possession here. I believe that was Beasley down there in what is the left corner from us here in the commentary position. Allows for the Rockets now to turn defence into attack. It is their main facilitator, Lucas McGregor, leading the line from that point guard position. Passes now to Powell. Powell, lovely pass there to Blaine. Blaine dummies his man. Back to Powell again. Powell with the handle. Shot clock counting down. Doesn't matter for Zach Powell. He has got ice in his veins and then some. Makes it look ever so easy. Just the Rockets' leading point scorer. Here goes Manning again, looking to kick that out to Beasley. Beasley is wide open here. And he connects with nothing but nets. First three-pointer of the evening for the London Cavaliers. Makes it a one-point game once more. It's Rockets 8, Cavaliers 7. Plenty of movement in and around the paint here for the Rockets. Looking to see Luke Okasieme getting involved in the pick and roll as well. This now goes back to Blaine. Blaine has to put up the Hail Mary. And on that occasion, slightly short with the shot attempt. Rebounded comfortably by the men in white. Here go London once more. The other side of the courts. Short shovel pass there to Braster. Beasley thinks about taking the shot, thinks better of it, instead turns around and, well, that one has just burst through the hands of Okasieme. It's an almighty scramble there in the low post, and still no one really getting control of the basketball until Blaine emerges with it. Blaine now has it ripped away by Braster. Braster here, and this will be a dunk for Markel Beasley. Puts the extra bit of icing on that one. Puts London back into the lead. Already a strong start here from both sides on the offensive side of things. Something we've grown to expect, especially from the Rockets in this campaign. Averaging close to 93 points per match. When you think back to last season, averaging around about 82 to 83, really has been quite the turnaround for the Birmingham-based outfit. Here is Okasieme being triple teamed in there. It'll be a difficult shot. Tries to get his own rebound. And in the end, comes off the outstretched fingers of the Rockets' big man. Of course, feel free to let us know where you are tuning in from as well. Had plenty of global support here on the BCB live streams across the campaign so far. Love to know where you are tuning in from. There's Beasley here again from three. Ever so slightly wayward with the effort, just put too much mustard, but Braster is there. And Braster now stretches the Cavaliers' lead to 3 points. McGregor now directing traffic, as is so often the case. Really is the floor general here for the men in red. Blaine now goes to Okasieme. And Okasieme lays down an early hammer. Good work all around there by the home side. Quick, incisive and decisive passing, leading to an easy basket for the centre. Braster it is. Against the aforementioned Okasieme, posts up. Gets his own rebound though, and Braster, as the shot clock expires, just lays that one in. Delicate finger roll off the backboard. 3-point game once more. Okasieme thinks about the dunk. In the end, has to settle for the layup. Really has been a real back and forth encounter so far. was the case down in Uxbridge a little bit earlier on this season. Collins now for 3. And Mackay Collins splashes that one. I mean, he's another one with a great season so far, averaging 10.8 points per game. Also leads the Cavaliers in total rebounds, 153 and counting. Powell looks to spin his man, kicks it into the corner. McGregor it is. Just undercooks the attempt. Collins with the rebound to Roberts. Roberts now tries to find John Manning. And Manning fires it into the boots there of, I think, Lucas McGregor. Results in the retention of possession here for the Cavaliers. In what is a huge game for both of these teams. Roberts to Braster. McGregor guarding him intently, all over him like a rash, and that is fantastic defensive work from McGregor. Even better from Blaine, who gets the block for good measure. The former Newcastle man looking to drive towards a lane, gives it instead to Okasieme. Okasieme blocked by Roberts, and here comes the fast break chance for the Cavs. Although there is an offensive foul called in there, Donaldson taken down rather unceremoniously. The Rockets getting the basketball back. Shout out as well to Mia Clark, who's watching Lucas McGregor from Hertfordshire. Great to have your company here this evening, Mia. Hope that you're enjoying the coverage from the south of the country. If anyone else wants some shout outs through the night, just let me know. Always an important part of our coverage. Love the fact that there's such a wide appeal for the game across the country and, of course, the wider globe as well, as Orlan Jackman opens up his accounts for the evening with a banked layup for 2. So, 2-point game. Rockets trailing at the moment. Cavaliers up 16 points to 14. Attempted alley-oop. Collins was there. Rockets alert to the danger. Here goes McGregor. McGregor with the finger roll. And we are back at even Stevens. 16 points apiece. And what has been a very entertaining start to the game. Two sides desperate to maintain their position in that top 6. Here is Collins. Collins looking to poster Okasieme. And in the end, foul's been called in there, has it? Oh, in fact, it's a goaltend called against Okasieme. As a result, 2 more points to the Cavaliers. Well, Okasieme could not believe that. I thought the initial reaction was maybe to a foul called there in the paint, but a goaltend it is. Donaldson on the left wing, goes inside now to Zach Powell. Powell gets blocked. I mean, this has been a great start defensively for the men in white as Roberts looks to surge forward. Gives it now to Braster. Braster looking for a rather deft shot there over the top of his defender. Now post up against Jackman. And over the head, behind the back. A little bit of a circus shot there from Braster. Powell now exploding towards the basket. He gets it pickpocketed. The Cavaliers advance once more. Braster gets another double. So, and one opportunity coming up for the Cavs 23. Just looking at the numbers, 69% from the free throw line. Here's Braster. But we won't see it just yet because Charles Smith, unsurprisingly, after that stretch has called for a timeout. Just looking in the YouTube chat as well, Peter Campbell tuning in from Telford, a place that I know very well from my time in ice hockey commentary. Go Lucas, and happy Valentine's Day to Janine as well. Well, we thank you for your company. Of course, love is in the air here on the Rockets live stream, and that love is for the great game of basketball. No finer way to spend a Valentine's Day, a Saturday evening, watching some BCB action. Good crowd in here tonight as well. Really is good to see. As you may be able to notice as well, those LED advertising boards really adding to the aesthetics this evening. And just looking over there are quite a few nice Valentine's messages. So all things considered, a really nice occasion. Great way to spend Super Saturday, and it really is a Super Saturday in the wider league. We'll take you through the scores on the doors at the end of this quarter. But so much action taking place up and down the country. It's the hunt for the playoffs. Starts to reach boiling points. Still a few games remaining, of course, for the Rockets. Well, they are back here at Nechells on Friday, the 27th of February, against the Derby Trailblazers. And after that game, well, they've only got 3 further league home encounters. Those coming against the Reading Rockets, the Worthing Thunder and the Loughborough Riders. Here is Brasta then. And that one just bobbles away. Very unfortunate there with the free throw attempts. The Rockets, though, will not care one iota. McGall, quick pass there to Jackman. Jackman now out wide to Blaine. Blaine to Donaldson. Donaldson thinks about posting up against Roberts. Indeed he does. Looks to go inside. Instead, kicks it out onto the wing, and McGregor. Nothing but cash money for the former Flexichem Killorglin man. Continues to impress us, McGregor. One of the great characters here in the second city. This one now will fall to Pine. Pine slams it against Blaine, and now there's a bit of a foot race onto the basket, which is won by the veteran. Ron Blaine continues to add to his tally. 5 points and counting in this match so far. McGregor with 5 as well. Dan Brasta, I mean, how about his start? 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists for the number 23. Both he and Collins, well, they are going to be absolute menaces on both sides of the floor this evening. Collins spoke about his overall rebounds. McGall is open here on the wing, and Faris McGall delivers the goods, as he so often does. Quintessential Faris McGall, put a trademark on that one. Final minute then, here in the first quarter. Rockets currently with that slender 2-point lead. It's Rockets 24, Cavs 22. Roberts. 3 attempted there by Beasley. Beasley making no mistake from range. Brings the Cavs back into the lead. McGregor trying to sneak his way past Aaron Pine. You'll notice this with the Cavs this evening, plenty of man-on-man rotations. It's something they love to do. Very aggressive defensive unit. And you can see there Jackman being hounded from behind. Final 10 seconds will be the last attack of the first quarter. Roberts looking to dictate proceedings against Jackman. Roberts it is, bursting his way towards the hoop. Second chance opportunity for Brasta. And the Cavs cannot cash in. So the buzzer sounds, and that will signal the conclusion of the opening 10 minutes. It is the London Cavaliers who go into the 2-minute break with a very slender 1-point cushion. It's Rockets 24, Cavaliers 25. And as for those scores on the doors, as promised, plenty of action taking place across the league this evening. We'll start down in Colchester, where the Essex Rebels are currently up by 3 points against the Derby Trailblazers. That score currently reads 61-58 in favour of the home side. As for the game between the Nottingham Hoods and the Yorkshire Dragons, of course the Dragons, the Rockets' opposition in the BCB Cup final on the 28th of March. And the Dragons, well, they have bounced back very strong, currently up by 6 points at Harvey Haddon Sports Village. Hoods on 65, Dragons on 71. As for the game taking place down in Hemel Hempstead, the Hemel Storm have stormed into quite a handy lead there on their own court. Storm are up by 46 points to 38 against the Loughborough Riders. So those are the current scores across the league. And of course, we are all well aware of the current score here in Birmingham. It's been a very even opening salvo, that from both sides, and I imagine that is going to be the name of the game this evening. Two teams who, as we know, have got so much prowess on both sides of the court. Two of the finest teams in the entire league, and the Cavs know if they win here this evening, they will be breathing heavily down the necks of the Rockets heading into the next 2-3 matches. So we are ready then for our second helping here at Nechells. Quarter number 2 ready to get underway. It'll be started by the Rockets captain Martin Gale. Inbounds that to Lucas McGregor. McGregor taking on Pine once more. Goes back now to Blaine. Blaine from 3. Slightly overcooks the effort. McGall though alerts to the rebound opportunity. Ball very much in the hands here of the side in red. Blaine finds it on the left wing, posting up here against Beasley. Eventually scooped up by Jackman. But the aforementioned Beasley rips it away. Here goes Braster again. Braster on the spin. Underarm layup attempt, almost gets his own board. And in the end, I think that has come off of the hand of Orlan Jackman. So Cavaliers will get the inbound. Roberts passes that one into Del Sol Lowry. Beasley trying to get it past Jackman. Jackman puts up the big hand and says, no way. Jackman now can start to direct traffic. This one goes to McGall in the corner. That was a very difficult shot. Too difficult in the end. McGregor, though, tries to go back to Jackman. Jackman peels off his man. He gets blocked, though. Decision here for the officials. In the end, they do side in favour of the host. That came off of Aaron Pine's outstretched right hand last. So Jackman now posts up. Braster looks to draw the offensive foul. And he has done so. Well, he's used Orlan Jackman's calling card against him. Really heads up play that from the number 23. As I said, really has been a massive asset to the southern side in the 25-26 season. Just continues to impress game in, game out in so many facets as Pine gets called there for the travel. For those who aren't quite familiar with Dan Braster as well, previously played NCAA D1 basketball for Alcorn State over in Mississippi. Signed for the Cavaliers ahead of this season. Of course, as if the stats by themselves aren't impressive enough, he is also the team's leading point scorer so far. Jackman, it is against Braster. Almost gets it beyond him. Good rebound there from Ron Blaine. Comes back now to McGall. Faris McGall for 3. Great work there. Here's Jackman. Jackman with the board. Back now to Blaine. Numbers arriving here for the Rockets, but McGregor gets denied. Great defensive work yet again by the visitors. Here goes Braster. Braster trying to exploit a gap and does so expertly. Back now to Blaine on the fast break. He kicks it into the corner. Back now to McGall. McGall. Well, when you got the hot hands, it's worth a try. Couldn't quite find the target on that particular shot. Now back to Roberts. His latest effort collected by Ron Blaine. who's dealing in rebound so far. Tries to go for the touch pass over the top, intercepted by Braster. Braster now to Beasley. Beasley looks to dunk that one. Instead just rolls off the fingertips for two more. So it's a 2-point game. Cavs up 29 points to 27. McGregor looking to restore parity, cannot do so. Braster now finds his captain Roberts. Back to Braster. Braster from the mid-range, and Braster collects his own rebound again. Onto that one in a flash, leaping like a leopard to get his own glass. Blaine now looks to lay that one in ever so softly. And indeed he does. So we are back at level pegging. Rockets 29, Cavs 29. And there will be change here for the London Cavaliers. As Mackay Collins checks back in for AJ Roberts. McGregor also making way for Zach Powell. And of course we have got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Paul Downton, tuning in from the Wirral. Great to have your company, as always, Paul. Was even better in person, of course, but this is the next best thing. Hope that you are enjoying all of the action from the Northwest. Here is Del Sol Lowry. He goes over to Manning. John Manning there for three. Superb shot that from the right wing. Gale it is once more. Looking to lead from the front as ever. Product of basketball here in the second city. Great move there from Powell. Powell now zips it into the corner. Ultimately finds Gale. For the first time this evening, the Archer unleashes the bow and arrow. Gets a fresh one out of the quiver. Yet again, we are back at parity. 32 plays 32. Well, not if the Cavs have anything to say about it. 2-point game once more. It really does move at breakneck speed when these two teams face off against one another. It was a great game down in Uxbridge early doors as McGall looks to connect there with the three. Couldn't quite do so with that latest attempt. However, foul was called in there against the number 10 of John Manning. That is his second personal foul of the game. Roberts also has two. As for Mackay Collins, he has the other one for the London Cavaliers. With regards to the Rockets fouls, Donaldson has one, Jackman has one, and Okasieme has one. Powell now, quick release. And Powell cashes in. Delightful work there from the men in red. Here goes Del Sol Lowry. He gets it snatched away by Jackman. Fast break chance here for Zach Powell. Powell showcasing the silky smooth handles. Just drops it back on to the favoured left. And that final finish was as smooth as silk. And Nigel Lloyd calls the first of the Cavaliers timeouts for this game. I think again that is a wise decision. Rockets just beginning to settle into their rhythm here. You can tell they are a side brimming and buoyant with confidence, as they should be. Heading into this fixture, they have won 7 straight matches, 7 games on the trot. Of course, the latest one coming last week against the Yorkshire Dragons at the Inspire Leisure Centre. Weekend before that, 2 victories against the Bristol Hurricanes and the Hemel Storm here at the Nechells Wellbeing Centre. Beat the Storm down in Hemel Hempstead. Then, of course, victorious against the Bristol Flyers too, and the MK Breakers on their own patch. And the streak was started initially with a 73 to 105 point victory against the Worthing Thunder on the south coast. Can they make it 8 on the spin? That is the question for this evening. The Cavs, though, will try desperately to ensure that that is not the case. We are back underway. It's Del Sol Lowry. Kicks it to Beasley, now back with the number 12. Into the corner. This will be a 3 if it goes in. Spirals away from the lip of the rim. But this will be a third chance opportunity. Fourth chance, in fact. Rockets not boxing out efficiently enough there. And as a result, Cavaliers pouncing. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Really should have been a home rebound there, but this is what the Cavaliers do. They just smother that offensive glass. Here now is Jackman. Jackman into the corner. Another 3 put up by the Archer. Martin Gale makes it 2 for 2. The man who led the previous iteration of the league, NBL Division 1, in all-time three-pointers, has already got a pair to his name tonight. He's got the rebound there too. Here goes Zach Powell. Powell on the fast break. Powell with the layup. For the first time, Rockets stretching that lead beyond 3 points. It's Rockets 41, Cavs 36. Braster to Del Sol Lowry. He's certainly making his presence felt early doors. Gives it wide to Markel Beasley. Beasley pushing off Gale. Back to Del Sol Lowry. And that will be a shot clock violation for the Southern outfit. Just took a little bit too much time on that occasion. It's Del Sol Lowry checks out. John Manning comes back in. And Lucas McGregor comes in for Faris Magal. So the officials just spotting something there between Gale and Braster. I think Gale may have just been teched there. So Braster it will be. And he can't make the first one. Makes no mistake on the second time of asking, though. Of course, will remain in the hands here of the London Cavaliers. Shout out to Lawrence Duru. Great to have your company, Lawrence. Hope that you are enjoying the action here on Super Saturday. It's that one banked in off the backboard by John Manning. Lovely work there from the number 10. Manning, no stranger to points this season. Has got quite the average. 17.4 points per game as that one is thrown down by Okasieme. Authoritative and disdainful from the Rockets' big man. Here's the men in red who approach the half century. Still 7 points away. Cavs on 39. Here is Braster. Braster against Okasieme. And Okasieme on that occasion can't quite get the block in. Smart finish that from Braster. Gale, textbook punk fake. But he can't quite cash it in. First three-pointer missed by the Rockets captain this evening. But you can just tell there's a steal, there's a determination in his eyes. As Braster makes yet another one. Back to a tied game. Here goes Powell. Powell to Gale. Gale scrapping away for it. And this will be a Rockets inbound. Gale checks out as well. Ron Blaine coming back onto the courts for the hosts. That latest shots can't quite connect from Donaldson, but he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Confirmation of the foul. That one called against AJ Roberts, who in the first half already has amassed 3 personal fouls to his name. And that has spurred Coach Lloyd into action. Aaron Pine comes back in. Of course, you don't want to be in early foul trouble. The Rockets, as a unit, are very astute. They're very shrewd when it comes to drawing contact in and around the basket. Whether it's in the low post or indeed the high post, they've got plenty of operators who use wisdom and nous to their advantage. And that now is just something for the visitors to think about heading into the third quarter and beyond. Donaldson looking to make it 2 for 2. And right on cue, that is exactly what he does. Donaldson, coming from fine basketball pedigree, as we all know, the son of the legendary, the great Dip Donaldson, and that's a great move from Makai Collins. Finishing off the alley-oop. Exhibition stuff that from London. Here is Donaldson. Donaldson to McGregor. McGregor tries to find Powell, and a foul has been called in there, I think against Okasieme, just judging by the reaction of the Rocket centre. And indeed it is, a second foul called against Okasieme tonight. And Okasieme brought out of the game there by Coach Smith. Orlan Jackman comes back out onto the court. As we approach the final 90 seconds in what has been a real gripping game of basketball so far. Absolutely stunned that that one didn't go in by Braster, but he's done really well to tip that one into a teammate's hands. Could be ripped away here by McGregor. Spectacular steal that from the point guard. In the end, as he looked to spin away, he gets the foul for good measure. So that will be a 4th foul called against the Cavs here in the second quarter. And the first of the evening called against the number 7 of Aaron Pine, the former London Elite man. Of course, with Roberts having already conceded those 3 fouls, could be seeing a little bit more of him in this particular fixture. Must admit, he did ever so well in NBL Division 2. Averaged 14 points per game. Just got a slight delay here as just mopping up a little bit of moisture there on the halfway line. Officials happy for the game to get back underway. Game which has seen 90 points already scored between the two teams. Here goes Blaine. Blaine, almost in desperation, flings it out wide to Jackman. Jackman can't connect with the effort from deep. So final minute here. McGregor there with the active hands, really being a nuisance and a menace to every single one of those Cavaliers guards. And that'll be the case all night. Really does pride himself on his defence. Here go the Cavs once more. Beasley wins back his own rebound and on the spinner Rooney gets it in. A wonderful shot that from London's number 15. Here is Donaldson. Donaldson being guarded by Makai Collins. That would be an interesting matchup if we do see that. Here is McGregor now. McGregor from three-point land can't get it. Pine, I think he may have stepped out of bounds there. Indeed he has. So with 13 seconds remaining in the half, the Rockets should have one more opportunity to add to their tally. Powell into Donaldson. Donaldson from mid-range, can't get it in. Beasley being hounded from behind. And the end result of that is Cavaliers' possession. So Coach Lloyd this time calls his second timeout with 5.8 seconds of the half remaining. Will be the visitors who have that final possession. Shouts out to Jesse Dura as well. Let's go Rockets, as well as Dog. Let's go Rockets with the Rockets emoji. Great to have your company, everyone. Wherever you're tuning in from, let us know. As I said, this season we've had support from Turkey, Brazil, Portugal. The global appeal of the British Championship never ever ceases to amaze us. May I just say, what an absolute pleasure and a privilege it is to be broadcasting here this evening in front of a healthy crowd here at the Nechells Wellbeing Centre. If you're enjoying what you're seeing on the screen, you can of course join us in person on Friday the 27th of February at 7:30. The Derby Trailblazers make the rather short journey down from the East Midlands and they head west to take on the Rockets right here in the second city. Don Suave tuning in from Utah. Great to have your company, Don. Imagine the weather is a little bit nicer in Utah as well compared to Birmingham at the minute. Very cold here tonight. Thankfully, we are indoors and away from the ice and the rain. The lane there was impeded by Lucas McGregor. His first foul, and with 2.7 seconds on the clock, this will be the final throws of what has been a cracking first half of basketball. Here we go then. Inbounded to Braster. He has to put the shot up. Braster it is. Will it go? No, it won't. Pine was there to try and get the second chance opportunity, but alas, it was not to be. The buzzer sounds and the first half is brought to its climax. So it's a 2-point game. Scoreboard currently reads Rockets 45, London Cavaliers 47. And just looking at the current box score, just to run you through some of the standout performers really on both sides. Lucas McGregor and Zach Powell with 8 points apiece for the men in red. Ron Blaine with 7, Okasieme, Magal and Gale all with 6 points, with Donaldson and Jackman on 2 points apiece respectively. As for the Cavaliers, well, as you'd expect, the big men are dominating. They are a real hallmark behind the success of the side this season. Braster with 15, Beasley with 14 and Mackay Collins with 7 points and 5 rebounds already. So watch out for Collins and Braster. Beasley as well in the guard position really has been doing a fine job, making 6 of his 11 attempted field goals. Also some points in there for John Manning. He's got 7. Daniel Del Sol Lowry has 2. And AJ Roberts, the captain, also has 2 points to his name. So we will take a short breather here on the commentary. I say we, I am the only commentator this evening, but I'll take a short reprieve here on the broadcast. And we'll be back with all of the action here at Nechells as we return in 10 minutes' time for the second half. Make yourself a cuppa, grab yourself some snacks, and don't go anywhere, folks. This one could well go down to the wire. Welcome back to the Nechells Wellbeing Centre, where we are less than 90 seconds away from the restart in what has been a pulsating BCB League match between the City of Birmingham Rockets and the London Cavaliers. It is the Cavaliers who hold that slender 2-point lead heading into quarter number 3. And the lion's share of their points have been scored by Dan Braster and Markel Beasley. Braster with 15 and Beasley with 14. Another just thing to touch upon with regards to the respective sides is also points in the paint. Now, this is usually a metric which the Rockets dominate across the league. So far tonight, the home side have got 20 points in the paint. The Cavaliers have got 32 of their 47. So that will be an area, I imagine, that Coach Smith has touched upon. So too the second chance points. The Cavaliers have got double the amount that the Rockets have got, with 10 compared to 5. So work to be done for the men in red if they are to maintain this winning streak. Currently stands at 7, and they will be champing at the bit to turn it into 8. Just give them that extra bit of confidence heading into the business ends of the campaign. So, the buzzer sounds, the Cavs are already back out on the floor. Will be Manning, Beasley, Roberts, Braster and Collins for the men in white. And as for the Rockets, we imagine it'll be the regular starters: Eric Donaldson, Ron Blaine, Luke Okasieme, Zach Powell and Lucas McGregor. And right on cue, that is the foul. The court here. So, and from they are attacking from left to right. Rockets from right to left. It's in the hands of John Manning. He's taking on Lucas McGregor. Gives it over to the informed Braster. Now back to Beasley. Beasley assesses the options. Has McGregor jumping. Opts to go back to Braster. Finally on the shot clock. Had to. Will be gathered by Blaine. Nice change of pace and direction there from the Rockets veteran. And now Okasieme opens up his account in the second half with a slam dunk. Exactly what you want to see from your talismanic big men. So it's a 47-47 game. That first half really did deliver. It's a big ticket clash, this one. And that's a big time bit of defensive work by the Rockets. McGregor no-look pass inside to Blaine. Ron Blaine. He continues to chalk points in this one. 7. That Blaine moves him closer to reaching double digits. So, early timeout called there by Coach Lloyd and the London Cavaliers. Has been a lightning fast start that for the Rockets, so I think that is the wise move, just to halt proceedings slightly. Shout out to Beth Donaldson, who's tuning in and enjoying the match from Colorado Springs. Kalkan, as always, watching from Istanbul. Teşekkürler, as always, my friends. Mia supporting the Cavs, and Pervin Kalkandelen also tuning in from a Rockets point of view. So, timeout comes to an end. And it will be on the 28th of March. The Rockets doing battle of Yorkshire to see who will be secured in the history books as the first ever victors of the BCB Cup. Again, Braster goes out wide here to Roberts, and it bobbles out agonisingly. foul to Okasieme. Now back to McGregor on that right wing, showcasing the handle against Collins. Moved out wide by Donaldson. Powell from the mid-range, falling backwards. And hitting the target for good measure. It's the Rockets who win the battle to 50. Here is Manning to Roberts, into the corner. Beasley. And he had a great game early doors against the Rockets. Had 21 points and 15 rebounds in Uxbridge. To his tally with that late effort. And there will be a foul called in there against the visitors. First one of the quarter. And it's also the first one of the evening. Called against Markel Beasley. Hamilton to Blaine. Blaine looking to post up here, or in fact kicks it back to Donaldson. Donaldson now exploding through the lane, wins back his own, rebounds. He lays that one in. Rockets now stretching the lead to 6. That is the highest lead of the game so far for the home side. Braster, almost NFL quarterback style, passes that one to Beasley. Okasieme rises highest with the rebound. Here goes Powell. Powell now driving with real intent and purpose. He gets taken out, driving to the baskets. And that will be a third personal foul called against Dan Braster. And immediately Coach Lloyd checks him out of the game. Aaron Pine comes back in. There'll be another change here as John Manning is replaced by Daniel Del Sol Lowry. Powell successful with his first from the line. Zach Powell, of course, the leading point scorer for the Rockets. Not only last season, but this season as well. Adds another pair to the ever-growing amounts, averaging nearly 18 points per game. Shooting 46% from the field overall. Kai Collins in there, scrapping away with Okasieme for possession. And the call, as you can tell there from the crowd's reaction, goes in favour of the men in red. Blaine, nice change of direction there. Beautiful passing, releases Donaldson in that corner. And add another 3 to the total. It's Rockets 58, Cavs 47. Well, the Rockets experiencing blast-off here in the third quarter. Del Sol Lowry looking to float that one in. Collins rips it away. Not one, but 2 Rockets defenders. Cuts that deficit back to single digits. McGregor, great move. That is pin perfect from the guard. Powell now switches to Del Sol Lowry. Roberts gets blocked by Blaine, and Blaine now should be able to finish this off. No, he can't. Couldn't quite corral it. You could see he was frustrated there, was the former Newcastle man. The eyes lit up. He could see the basket. Golden chance goes begging. The Rockets still in command early doors here in the second half. It's Rockets 60, Cavs 49. Here is Collins. Was a tough angle to try and get that past Okasieme. McGregor now will switch the play to Powell. Powell passes back to his point guard. Blaine is wide open, has to take the shots, and the Blaine train is gathering some momentum. What a signing he has been. not just on the field, but of course off the court as well. It's that one. It's just tapped in rather delicately by Mackay Collins. And then he goes back. I was about to say he gets the block. No, he doesn't. That will be called as goaltending. So it's a 14-point game. And this is where the Rockets have been ruthless on home courts. They've had these kind of stretches against the Hurricanes, against Bristol Flyers too, against the Hemel Storm, against the MK Breakers. It really is their bread and butter. And will this one go in their favour? Yes, it will. Okasieme. Check out that reaction. Unleashes a huge roar. A side not only prominent in their offence, but a side who really take great pride at defending the basket as well. Blaine finds himself in a little bit more space than I think he imagined at first, and he just fires that into one of the Cavs players' arms. I think it may have been Beasley on that occasion who it comes off of last, but either way, this will be an inbound for the side in red. Final 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. You imagine it will be Powell here. Powell goes to the lane. That'll be a shot clock violation. So Cavs there holding down the forts impeccably. Not allowing for any easy opportunities for their opposition. What a play that is from Zach Powell. Powell to McGregor. Oh, hang that one in Birmingham's art gallery. What a sensational move that was from Zach Powell to find McGregor, and the dunk was destructive. One which got the fans and even myself here in the comms box out of their seats. Crikey. And it's plays like that has summed up this stretch for the Rockets. When they are feeling it to 100. Great defensive awareness that from Zach Powell. The no-look pass on the spin. Crikey, that is unbelievable. Of course, the foul called in there against Eric Donaldson, so Beasley, it is at the line. Can't quite cash in the first one. Will it be second time lucky? Yes, it will. McGregor now looking to turn his way past Pine. Okasieme lays the roadblock in front, courtesy of the screen. Blaine, touch pass here to Donaldson. Donaldson on the left. Okasieme comes charging in. Can't quite beat Collins to the punch. As a result, Roberts now offloads that to Pine. Pine unleashes from 3. Okasieme emerges with the ball. And Powell with that latest move, a little bit too much. Had Donaldson on his skates. Just looking over on the bench, Orlan Jackman getting warm. And he will check in here for Luke Okasieme. Collins to Beasley. Beasley goes into the corner. Pinpoint accuracy there to Roberts. Roberts now back onto the left-hand channel. Manning it is, looking to flow that over the top of Jackman. Can't do so. This will be a 2-on-2 opportunity. Powell looks to shimmy and shake his way to the basket. Oh, what a player this man is. Calling the general here on the stream, his teammates call him as well. There's a reason why he has earned that reputation and that nickname. Always marshalling proceedings with those tough shots, and what a fantastic steal that is from McGregor. McGregor, you can just see he has got confidence oozing through his veins right now. 14 points to his name, couple of steals. Shot has to go, and it does go. Eric Donaldson. What a stretch this is turning out to be for the men in red. 71 plays 52. A reminder, at the half, it was the Cavaliers who led by 2. Here goes Powell, foot race against Beasley. And Powell with the left, the southpaw finish. Delectable from the hosts. Here is Roberts. Roberts looking to make something happen. Beasley, will he be the man to stop the rot? No, he won't. It pings off of Collins, and Donaldson will come away with it. Donaldson again looks to turn his man. Collins snatches it away. Manning it will be. Manning gets blocked by McGregor. This is unbelievable from Lucas. Powell now, no look pass. But that goes out of bounds, and I spoke with Paul Douglas about this against the Bristol Hurricanes, but Rockets just need to calm it down ever so slightly with the showmanship. As Gale and McGall come in for the home side, and actually, while that replacement was taking place, the officials have given that to the Rockets, so be the home side to inbound. Gale it will be. Goes into the corner. Collected by Collins. Into the final minute of the quarter. A quarter which has been dominated by the City of Birmingham Rockets. Dare I say, this was almost what happened down in Uxbridge a little bit earlier on as well. Now that one will be called against Martin Gale. Well, Ron Blaine it will be. That gets called against. We're just looking over to the side there towards Gale. His reaction suggested it may have been something off the ball, but instead it is just a defensive foul called against Ron Blaine. He's animated those, the Rockets captain. So too is Coach Smith. Gale now just bringing his teammates around. Be Roberts from the line. We'll also provide you with the up-to-date scores from across the country at the end of this quarter on what is a pivotal Saturday night in the Championship. So it remains a 19-point game. Who could have predicted that? And the second one from Roberts meets its marker. Final 30 seconds here in quarter number 3. McGall to Jackman. Jackman to his captain, Gale, bounces that one. Beautiful pass to Powell. Powell to McGall. Can Farris finish? No, he can't. So, final opportunity here in quarter number 3 should fall into the hands of the London Cavaliers. Final 5 seconds. It's Braster. Braster, will he go it alone? Instead, kicks it into the corner. And that one is splashed in right on time. And that was a timely 3 in the corner for the men in whites. cuts that deficit down, but in terms of the scoring, the Rockets there have bagged 28 points to the Cavaliers 11. Really has just flipped the overall complexion of this game completely on its head. And what was a very, very close fought affair in the first half has just turned into slightly one-way traffic there in the third. We have, of course, got those scores on the doors as well, and we'll start up in the northeast, where the table-topping Newcastle Knights continue their title charge. They have beaten the Bristol Flyers too by a scoreline of 112 points to 87. Down in Milton Keynes, the Breakers have beaten the Worthing Thunder by 91 points to 71 at the Bletchley Leisure Centre in the game taking place between the Bristol Hurricanes and the Reading Rockets. It is Reading who have got the points from that one. Hurricanes scored 54. The Berkshire outfits very much in the mix for the top two, if not the title, scoring 72 points in that one. As for the game taking place down in Colchester, well, the Derby Trailblazers have not only eaten into that first half deficit, they have overturned it. They have beaten the Rebels by 83 points to 91 down in Colchester. And as for the final game, that one taking place between the Hemel Storm and the Loughborough Riders. That score was reading 96-71. That has just come through as a final result, so the Storm have won that game on their own courts. Just looking there at Paul Downton's comment, Lucas McGregor is on fire. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I mean, he is just destroying the defence so far. Of course, he's also being a real nuisance on the defensive side as well. Speak a lot about active hands here on the broadcast. It's so important. Yes, you've got to get into a good defensive, solid, stable position as McCall starts off quarter number 4 with a 3. Rockets maintain this hot streak, but just going back onto that previous point, you've got to get into a nice stable position. It's almost cut off those lanes and just provide a little bit of resistance more than anything, as Faris McGall is displaying there against Amari Pond-McKenzie. As Collins now. Well, that was a devastating dunk. Remains a 16-point game though. Rockets lead 76-60. If you can get those hands in and around the ball, just nipping away at your opponent really can be very frustrating. And it does result in the steals, and that's a fine result for the Rockets. Martin Gale with a third three-pointer of the night. Really is one of the great men here in Birmingham. Of course, born and raised in the city. Means ever so much to him and his family as well. Gale here leading from the front in exemplary fashion. Cavs respond with a two-pointer of their own. Blaine to McGall. Rockets playing hot potato with the rock. Here goes Powell. Off-ball defence being played there by Braster. Will come back to Blaine. Blaine out of desperation kicks it into the wing. And McGall cannot quite get there. So, Cavs win it back. Will be inbounded here. And here goes Braster. Braster throws up the 3. And a foul has been called in there. Slight look of bemusement there on the face of Martin Gale. Second foul called against him. And yet another one called in there as well. Foul's just beginning to tally up here for the Rockets. Zach Powell it was, the number 14. The latest Parsi to get his name on the board in the foul column. So that one is tipped in by Braster. You can see now the Rockets, they have got the luxury of just taking the sting out of the game. They can be methodical, they can be a little bit more patient with the approach compared to the Cavs. Here is Gale again, only 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Gale, well, he almost got there. Jackman tries to whisk it away, cannot do so. Slight collision there between Manning and his teammate. Here goes Manning again, floats that one onto the wing. And that is another delightful three-pointer by AJ Roberts. He's taken the headband off, but it's not impacted his scoring capabilities in the slightest. I mean, he is one of the real standout three-point shooters for the Cavs. Just looking at the percentages this season, currently sits at 45% from deep. And he now really has got a lot of the responsibility to shoulder. So too have Collins and Braster. Braster has 17, Collins with 13, Beasley with 15, Manning with 10. We've got to talk a little bit about Lucas McGregor. He really has caught flames, 14 points, 7 assists and 3 steals. That really is a very solid night's work from McGregor. Zach Powell has 16, Ron Blaine has 12. And then there are 3 Rockets players on the 9-point mark. Donaldson has 9, McGall has 9, and Gale also has 9. Having shot 3 from 6 so far. McGregor against Pon McKenzie. He goes to Gale. Gale now just looking for the movement there. Directing traffic in the paint, and Donaldson, well, that one just burst through the hands. Here goes Braster. Braster bullying his way beyond Jackman, but this time around Jackman gets the foul called in his favour. And there is that nous. There's the experience coming into full effect from the former Team England athlete. Nice bit of passing there between Gale and McGregor. Ultimately lands in the awaiting palms of Donaldson. McGregor now going a little bit more direct. McGall, great pass there to Gale. And that one will be engulfed by Jackman. Terrific work there. The Rockets' big man. I say Jackman yet again this season. Ever so impressive. You look at the rebounds per game, averaging 6.8 in the campaign, and that is the highest by any Rockets player so far. And what I've noticed as well, having commentated now for a couple of seasons, is the timing. He always delivers the dagger on the offensive glass. Just reads angles well, gets into a solid position, and he is a master when it comes to finishing underneath the basket. So 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in regulation. The Rockets still up by 14. That latest one put up by Manning, rebounded by Jackman, right on cue. Here goes Donaldson. Donaldson to McGregor. To McGall. Back to McGregor. Now to Gale. Gale into the corner. Donaldson unleashes from the corner. That one will be gleefully accepted by Roberts. Manning now. Can the Cavs connect from the corner? Yes, they can. Tamari Pond-McKenzie gets his first points on the board. Here is Donaldson. Donaldson, quick release, and Braster just collided with Pond-McKenzie there. No harm done, though, for the men in white. Here is Manning, back to Pond-McKenzie. May as well put up the three. He goes back to back. First time was so nice, he just had to do it twice. Gale to McGregor. Into the corner. A little bit more zonal defence being played now by the visiting side. That 2-3, great swat away there by Jackman, keeps the play alive. 10 more seconds added here on the shot clock. The Rockets now going through a little bit of a cold stretch themselves. And the end result of that is Cavaliers ball. Third foul as well called against the Rockets captain Martin Gale. Also a third team foul called against the Rockets here in quarter number 4. And that one is banked in for good measure. So the Cavaliers now just beginning to chip away point by point here. Rockets need something just to snap this streak. It won't be there by Blaine, but all and Jackman. Wonderful hustle, great tenacity. And in the end, he will get the Rockets back into a somewhat healthy lead. Only stands at 8 points now, though. It's Rockets 83, Cavs 75. Collins, he looks to bully his way past Blaine. Blaine closes off the lane. Change in personnel as well. Here for the visitors as Markel Beasley checks in for AJ Roberts. 3 minutes and 48 seconds remain in regulation in what has been a topsy-turvy, fascinating game of basketball. And that is a pivotal rebound by Donaldson. Here goes McGregor. McGregor now has to divert his direction underneath the baskets. He will now go to the free throw line for 2. McGregor makes his first one. Will he make it 2 out of 2? Yes, he will. Swishes it for good measure. And another change coming up here for the Cavs as Roberts comes straight back into the mix-up. Mari Pond-McKenzie taken out, so it is the Cavs familiar starting 5 out there. It's Roberts, Beasley, Braster, Manning and Mackay Collins. Here is Roberts taking on Zach Powell. Now out wide to Beasley. Beasley comes up short of the target. Braster though through contacts. He's back to an 8-point game. McGregor now puts on the turbo. Goes to Jackman. Jackman thought there for a split second about cashing in the 3. thinks better of it. Rockets looking to just manage the game here. Jackman to Donaldson. Donaldson open. He'll go straight back to him. Kind ricochet there too. Rockets forward. Powell now looking to take on Manning. Throws up the shot. Rebounded by Collins. Braster. Quick passing move here for the southern side. It's Manning. Manning is impeded on his way to the basket, and that will be another foul called against the City of Birmingham Rockets. Second one of the evening for Orland Jackman. And it will be John Manning who heads to the line. First time that he approaches the free throw line in this game. It really has been a strong suit in the 25-26 season though. He's connected with 80% of his free throws so far as Manning. And the curse of the commentator strikes there on that occasion. Goes 1 for 2. He really has been very consistent across facets, it has to be said, for London. Here is Jackman in the corner. Looks to impart a little bit of backspin on that one. Powell thinks that he's won it back. Alas, it isn't to be. Here goes Manning. Manning, it's a tight angle. Jackman corrals it on the second time of asking. McGregor now. We're into the final 2 minutes of regulation at the Nechells Wellbeing Centre. Just a 7-point game. That's only a couple of shots separating these two teams. Rockets, well, realistically, they have to win tonight just to keep up with the pace. Reading winning, MK winning. Of course, the table toppers, the Newcastle Knights, defeating the Bristol Flyers too, up in the northeast. Fourth personal foul called there against Mackay Collins. One more, then he will be fouled out of the game. Donaldson to Jackman. Now with McGregor. And this is the kind of game which you could look back on in a few weeks' time and go, this was a catalyst. Collins, great desire to get the board. He now releases Roberts. Roberts to Braster. Braster underarms it, tries to go with the finger roll. Donaldson now goes to Blaine. And we are entering the closing exchanges. A tickle over a minute to go, and Blaine, with the change of acceleration and speed, pulls off the desired results for the men in red. Final minutes here at Nechells. What can the Cavs concoct? Well, it won't be much on that occasion. Officials just going over there to the table on the far side. Some discussions being had. Just awaiting confirmation of the call here. And the call is an inbound here for the London Cavaliers. Here is Manning. Manning loads up from three. Cannons off the front of the iron. Roberts, though, wins it back. Manning it will be. Manning with the Euro step. And Collins flying in there like a fighter jet. Just hammers it down. Back to a 7-point game. And here come the tactical fouls. I mean, McGregor in crunch time has been brilliant in these situations. Think about his ones from the line against Hemel, the MK breakers. That first one is unsuccessful. Will it be second time lucky? You bet it will. No mistake there from the Rockets guard. And with 35 seconds left on the clock, it is the London Cavaliers who burst forward. Collins lays that one in. And Manning immediately opting to foul Orlan Jackman. I believe a timeout may have been called as well here by Coach Lloyd. Indeed it has. And something else to pick up on there. John Manning has just been fouled out of the game. So he will play no further part for these final 30 seconds. Crucial component on both ends of the floor. He's now replaced by Daniel Del Sol Lowry. And Jackman gets his first. It's all about discipline at this stage for the men in red. Doesn't happen often in the sport, but you never know. Those closing exchanges, anything is possible. Cavaliers certainly not out of this one just yet. And a couple of changes here for the home side. Okasieme comes back in, so it'll be a quintet of Okasieme, McGregor, Powell, Donaldson and Blaine. A starting five taking on four of the Cavaliers starters. Del Sol Lowry nails that first one. Back to a 6-point game. Make that a 5. And Coach Smith uses the timeout there for the COB Rockets with 28.9 seconds still remaining on the clock. I mean, what another fascinating game this has been. I mean, these matches at Neatshaw's never fail to disappoint. I think back to that game against the MK Breakers where the Rockets held on to a final 5 minutes of counter-attacks from the Buckinghamshire outfits, eventually won it by 3 points, and who could forget the game against the Newcastle Knights? A game which the Rockets unfortunately lost on that occasion, but it went to 3 overtimes. Not 1, not 2, but 3 overtimes. These home fans will be hoping that there won't be a repeat of that tonight. They want to win this in regulation. But they have still got a job to do. 5 points. It's a lead. It's not a commanding one by any stretch of the imagination. It has been much, much better from the Cavaliers. I mean, you look at the overall scoring in this quarter. The Rockets scoring 19. Cavaliers, well, they've scored 26. So this one will go to Donaldson. Donaldson impeded straight away by AJ Roberts. So this now turning into a classic game of cat and mouse. Who is going to blink first? That is the question. Well, it won't be Eric Donaldson, I can assure you that. The Rockets now move on to 90. And make that 91. Goodness me, time just stopped there for a good couple of seconds. And another timeout called here by Coach Lloyd and the visitors. 25.8. That's the amount of time left on the clock. Can the Cavs pull off an escape that Harry Houdini would be proud of? Well, let's wait and find out. Big thank you to everyone, of course, who has tuned in to the coverage yet again this evening. It's been a pleasure and a privilege, as always. If you haven't already, given the stream a like and subscribe to the BCB YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. Every little helps with regards to growing the great game on the shores here in England. And of course Scotland as well, as we saw earlier on in the BCB Cup with the Falkirk Fury taking part in that competition. Doing very well, might I just add, reaching the semi-finals where they fell short against the Rockets' opposition in the final itself, the Yorkshire Dragons. A reminder, tickets are still available for that one. That one takes place on the 28th of March. So here we go. Brasta it will be. And he goes immediately to his captain, Roberts. Delightful pass there to Brasta. Brasta, well, that comes very, very high off the glass, and McGregor graciously accepts the rebound. So chance here now to stretch that lead to 9 points. Can McGregor do it? Well, he can't make the first one. Still has another bite of the cherry. And he makes the second one. So it's an 8-point game. Time continues to wind down here for the Cavaliers. Final 10 seconds remaining. Brasta, he goes out onto the wing. Shot will come up. Will it go in? No, it won't. Almost falls into the awaiting hands of a white jersey. But the buzzer will sound. And the City of Birmingham Rockets make it 8 wins on the trot. They have held their nerve admirably against a staunch and resolute Cavaliers outfit. A blistering and barnstorming third quarter, ultimately delivering the goods for the men in red. And they are firmly in the mix for not only the playoffs, but potentially the league title itself. With the Reading Rockets, the Newcastle Knights and the MK Breakers all victorious tonight, they had to win. They had a job to do against a fellow playoff contender, and they have done it remarkably. Commiserations as well to the London Cavaliers. It takes two to tango, and they have certainly played their parts in what has been a gripping game of basketball at the Nechells Wellbeing Centre. And just to go through some of the standout performances, Lucas McGregor top scoring for the City of Birmingham Rockets with 18 points to his name. Zach Powell chipping in with 16. Ron Blaine with 14. Eric Donaldson with 11. Martin Gale and Faris McGar with 9 points apiece. And Okasieme and Jackman, well, those two combined for 15 points, with Okasieme scoring 8 and Jackman scoring the other 7. As for the London Cavaliers, well, Dan Brasta, he had a fine night with 21 points. So too did Mackay Collins with 17, Markel Beasley with 15, AJ Roberts with 10, John Manning with 11, Amari Pond McKenzie, well, he shot 100% from three-point range tonight. He got 6 points to his name. And Daniel Del Sol Lowry, he also contributed with 4 points. So the end result, of course, going in the favour of the City of Birmingham Rockets. And that will give them tremendous confidence heading into the next stretch of games. Some massive ones coming up, both home and away, The next home game taking place here at Nechells on Friday the 27th of February against the Derby Trailblazers. But of course they have got the small matter of hands of an away fixture against the Reading Rockets on the 11th of February coming their way. Or I should say next weekend, not the 11th, that's already been. But of course that is the end of our coverage here on the live stream. A massive thank you to everyone, as always, for the company. We really do appreciate it here on the BCB YouTube channel. We'll be back here on the 27th for that game against the Trailblazers. And of course, in the meantime, the City of Birmingham Rockets have got that away trip to look forward to against the Reading Rockets, as well as the MK Breakers. That game taking place on Saturday, the 21st of February. So for myself, Aaron Viles, that'll be it for tonight's broadcast. One final mention of that end results. It finishes COB Rockets 92, London Cavaliers 84.